in Kigali. I think you also are very excited. And she went and watched the women football, the Crested Crane in Kigali, where our team performed very well. And we want to thank the team. The team is due to go to Paris for Women Olympic Football Tournament qualifiers. In the next phase, they will be going to Cameroon in September 2023. I want to congratulate the women for that. And on behalf of the women of Uganda, we will continue supporting our women football because they are proving to be better than all the others. And as a house, we will continue ensuring that they get sufficient funding, and the funding this time must be channeled to the women, not only men. The 11th Parliament will do that, and will always support sports in this country. We will support sports, whatever kind of sports. We will support it for socioeconomic transformation. Honorable members, yesterday I received information of the unrest of Amolata district, where some locals were up against non-natives of the area. There are people who were not from that area, so the locals did not want people who are not from that area. We are all Ugandans. We need to coexist. We should not go into that traditional times that we don't want people who are not from this area. So I want the minister to ensure that we avoid this kind of thing. And finally, on a sad note, again this weekend we witnessed, on top of the 16 accidents, today we got information of the demise of the Archbishop Emeritus of Mbarara Diocese. His Archdiocese, His Grace Paul Bachenga. The deceased was a very dedicated servant of God and committed to his entire life in fulfilling his priesthood. May we rise and observe a moment of silence.
May his soul rest in eternal peace.
Thank you so much, honorable members. I still want to retaliate on the issue of attendance in the House. Attendance in the House is one of the core roles that you should do. If you don't attend the House, I saw New Vision showing that the best members of Parliament, Sarah Penny, because she grabs a microphone all the time. But much as she just grabs the microphone all the time, she's here. So be here and be seen to be here. That's why you're voted. You're voted to be in the House. Pardon? Honorable members, you need to be in the House. And I want to tell you that we print those. When you log in, the clock in, we print it. You voters are going to look at, are you in the House? Are you in the constituency? Where are you? This is your home when you're in Kampala. You get it, eh? So if you are not here, then where are you? And a committee sit in the morning, in the afternoon. That's why we decided to have the House in the afternoon. Honorable members, For me, what I'm giving you is a simple advice. And you know the rules of procedure of this house. When you don't attend the house for a number of times, you know what happens. But I wish you good luck in today's deliberation. Thank you. Procedure. Honorable members, first before you get on procedure, let me introduce my children. In the public gallery this afternoon, we have the volleyball and netball teams that have qualified to go to Kigali. And these teams are the girls and the boys, represented by Right Honorable Anita, Honorable Poloti Shaggy, and Honorable Ikojo John Bosco, and this and grandmother. And these kids are from Bukedea Comprehensive School. Please stand up. Stand up. You're most welcome. And that school is for none other than. Thank you so much for coming. Please have a seat. Enjoy. This is your parliament. Yes, procedural matter. Matt?
Thank you, Right Honorable Speaker. Right Honorable Speaker, I rise on procedural matter. You have said that every time a member comes, he must register the signature to prove that the member is in. Right Honorable Speaker, the strategic development plan says that we should leave no one behind. We have allowed legally for the elderly to be members of this house. But unfortunately, technology is not taking care of the needs of the elderly. So every time the third, Right Honorable Speaker, so the only way that I have been able to prove that I'm around is occasionally to speak if I'm allowed to speak. Otherwise, by virtue of registering through technology, I have been alienated. I'm not in a position to register my presence.
You.
And I believe the others as well. Secondly, Right Honorable Speaker, on the issue of Molatar, the people who are there and are not supposed to be people from Molatar. I think that issue has not been properly understood. I'm immediate neighbor to Molatar. Most of the people who are in Molatar are not Langi. They have for generations been people from different areas. You find the Bateso there, the Basoga there, the Barulis, you know, the Baganda, they're all mixed up. So for anybody to say that the Langi of Molatar are not allowing other people to be there, that person is lying. Where the people are bitter is because there are people who have come with their goats, with their cows, and they want to dominate that place. And they are protected by arms. So, Right Honorable Speaker, this is a very serious matter. We have to investigate it. The Langis will never, ever stop anybody from integrating with the Langi.
Thank you. Honorable Minister, Imad, first of all, the technology we have is compatible with even the elders, the disability, and everybody, including age. We have grandmothers here, great-grandmothers like Imad. The system is compatible. In my, actually we need jig for her to wash her feet. In my communication, I did not mention the name Langi. I said the people in Molatar. And the people in Molatar, as you've said, some of them are Bateso, some of them Luo and whichever. What we are saying, they need to learn to coexist. Much as we are doing investigation, let the investigation be done, but we do not need to kill each other. Let the investigation go on, but without killing each other. Yes, Procedural.
Thank you, Right Honourable Speaker. Right Honourable Speaker, last week, the Prime Minister undertook to come back to this House and give government position on the fate of the local councils. Right Honourable Speaker, there is a law enacted in 2006, the Local Council Courts Act. Those local council courts, particularly at the local council 2 level, are mandated to handle all disputes related to customary land. And the customary land appears to be the biggest land tenure system in this country. Now that the term of office of the local councils has expired, the effect of judgments passed by those local council courts and entertaining the disputes are all matters of law, and one would conveniently say they lack jurisdiction and cannot act. So it's a huge crisis because land disputes are all over the country and on a daily basis. So can we know from the Prime Minister, when the government is availing resources for local council elections to be held, since there is no any other way other than that?
Government, can we hear about the local council?
Thank you, Right Honourable Speaker. Right Honourable Speaker, that issue was here last week, and this Thursday, the Minister of Local Government is coming up to this Parliament to inform you about the program for the local councils. I thank you.
I need to find out, honourable members. Honourable members. Government, I need to find out something. Assuming something happens between now and Thursday, that requires a LOC1 stamp, an acknowledgement and presence. What happens? We just want to be educated. We need to be guided.
Right Honourable Speaker, the Attorney General will give us a clarification. He's on his way coming. So he'll come here and give us a clarification on that.
Honourable members, the legal advice of government is the AG. Can we have the AG to put that issue of LOCs to rest? Let's not talk about it. Can we have the AG in the House? First, tell us which party you belong to.
Procedure.
Madam Speaker, thank you very much. Rule 50 requires all ministers to attend Parliament and answer questions. You thank the Honorable Bahati and Honorable Musasizi for attending. I have said the Speaker did. Their attendance must be of value. It is not a ceremony. If you have a person holding the office of Prime Minister and for every question she is looking at her shoulder, I want to go to Rule 50. We have UPDF officers who are in this Parliament. You hear members of Parliament, the most recent one from Njeru, that he has gone to see Muhoozi Kainerugaba General to develop his constituency. Yet we are the ones who pass a budget here. First, can the President publish a list of all his relatives and we know who handles which development? The second one,
A list of what?
of his relatives, and we know who handles Because
what
Honorable
reason?
Njeru went to Mwozi Kainerugaba. I want to know who I go to if I have another matter. And then, Madam Speaker, and this is a very serious matter, don't take it because I have seen MPs going to meet General Sari. If we have two generals who are important and they can attend Parliament and answer questions, why don't we chase away two from these ones and bring the others who can answer questions in Parliament?
Honorable Semuju. Honorable Semuju. I don't see any problem with anybody going to see General Saleh or going to see MK or going to see the president. First of all, the president is the president of the Republic of Uganda and is your president. He's the president, Honorable Semuju. So if people want to go, if that's where they find solace, what's wrong with anybody going anywhere? How come that for you, you come to me, you don't go to your Secretary General Nandala?
Thank you. Thank you, Right Honorable Speaker. Right Honorable Speaker, I would like to thank you for your resilience and commitment in ensuring that there is sanity on our roads in Uganda. About the important road fund for the districts and the cities. That is
Chair, we have already referred that to the committee.
yes,
and
I wanted to add, Madam, just 1 second on
you will go to the committee and take that information.
There is a, Madam, one
you
point.
Will go to the committee. You will go to the committee. That's a very serious matter.
No, there was
It's
one
not something that we should just sweep it on the on the floor here.
Madam, I wanted to add the
Akiki, please have a seat. Christine, I am going to attend to all of you, including Hajat, Patrick, Christine.
Thank you, Right Honorable Speaker, for the opportunity. We have heard your communication regarding the need for the Prime Minister to share with us the number of acts and their related...
The Attorney General.
The Attorney General. The number of acts and their related regulations. Right Honorable Speaker, we passed the Climate Change Act in 2021, and up to date, there are no regulations pertaining to that act. The other time we were battling with the Biofuels Act, we were not sure of whether it is 2018 or 2020, just because of regulations that it had been assented to by the President in 2018, but the coming into force, the commencement was 2020. And so the Act adopted in 2020 as its year. So these are the delays that even refer the beginning of the regulations or acts in further years, which confuses us. So thank you so much. We shall be waiting for the regulations, especially as far as climate change is concerned, because when you look at most disasters that have befallen our country, 70% of them are climate related. I thank you, Right Honorable Speaker.
Thank you so much. Attorney General, Government Chief Whip, you need to communicate to Attorney General. All the acts that we passed, we need the regulations. We cannot pass a bill in 2019. It becomes an act. No regulation. It is not operationalized. So what are we doing here? We just come here, talk, and go. That should not happen. Youth.
Thank you, Right Honorable Speaker. Over the weekend, I attended a sports day activity at Katikamu SDA Secondary School in Luwero, and they notified me about their failure to facilitate the girls' football team. to compete for nationals. And you've commented about the girls' football team in your communication. And I raise from that point and request the Ministry of Education and Sports and the concerned stakeholders like the Uganda Secondary School Sports Association to increase funding to the secondary schools so that they can realize more talents from our students, and also to avoid the demoralization and demotivation to our students through that failure to facilitate our teams. Thank you so much.
You said Katkamo SDA?
Yes, Luelo District.
The one I said we are going to facilitate is the national team of women. Now, when you see those young girls shining there, I also facilitate them myself as a director.
But I thought the ministry...
So we don't have money as government to facilitate each school.
Okay,
Yes, Matchbox.
Thank you very much, Right Honorable Speaker.
Honorable Maureen.
Yes, right. Thank you, Right Honorable Speaker. I rise still on communication that you made towards sports as well. Right Honorable Speaker, it is a culture in this house that whenever we attend the East African Parliamentary Sports, that a report is brought on the floor of Parliament and read to members. But ever since we went to Juba and attended last sports, until date, there is no report that has been brought on the floor of Parliament. And secondly, Right Honorable Speaker, I do not still know why, because we the athletes, we did well. So
you actually did very, very well. It was the best in the East African
So I want to seek your advice, Right Honorable Speaker.
Can we have the medals, the trophies, and the report presented on Thursday? Because if you don't present, I will not send you for the next one. You should present it by Thursday. Okay? Okay. Max? Then, still on communication. Max?
I'm glad I caught your eye, Right Honorable Speaker. Right Honorable Speaker, I rise to make a statement on your communication regarding the increasing road accidents. On Saturday, 15th this very month, at about 8 hours in the morning, a farmer, and I come from West Budama North constituency in Bukedi sub-region, a farmer was transporting trays of eggs to Tororo along Tororo-Nagongara Road. Unfortunately, because of the narrowness of the road, the potholes on the road, he got involved in an accident and lost almost 90% of the eggs. Madam Speaker, last financial year, Minister of Finance released money to UNRWA to undertake a feasibility study to upgrade that road, 44 kilometers. Unfortunately, the financial year ended without conclusion of that feasibility study. We have had numerous accidents on that road, and as long as the road remains the way it is, accidents will continue to occur. May I request government to update the people of West Budama North constituency and Bukedi sub-region at large on the status of that feasibility study. Thank you.
Thank you, government.
Right Honorable Speaker, since the money has been released to Ministry of Works, like the Honorable Member of Parliament has said, we need the ministry, I'm going to call the ministry to come here and they give us, the minister to give us the visibility study that has been carried on that road. I thank you.
First of all, what we are hearing that the money was released is still a hearsay. We need a confirmation that the money was released to UNRWA, and then what is being done at the moment, because that was the last financial year. So the minister should come here and report on what is being done. Yes? Pius?
Thank you, Right Honorable Speaker. Right Honorable Speaker, I talked about the road fund. I happen to be the chairperson Hoima District Roads Committee. When this parliament passed the 1 billion through Ministry of Works, it caused a lot of excitement in our constituencies. But I was shocked when I was chairing a meeting that as Hoima District, in the last financial year, we got 479 million, and we are able to rehabilitate 47 kilometers. But with now 1 billion, Hoima District is planning only to rehabilitate 35 kilometers because of, they are saying, because of the strict guidelines from the Ministry of Works. So I request that the Ministry of Works should really table these guidelines if this money is to help our people.
Thank you.
I thank you, Right Honorable Speaker.
Thank you. We need the guidelines laid here tomorrow for each member of parliament to be aware of the guidelines that you're giving. And as I said earlier on, honorable members, you need to take a lead in this money. If you're going to leave that money to those cows, you will not get anything. Tinker, Kisa.
Thank you very much, Right Honorable Speaker, for your communication. Right Honorable Speaker and Honorable Members, as we debate this afternoon, my constituency and the entire Kagadi district, maybe plus Chenjojo, we were ripped with grief this weekend where an accident happened in a forest of Kangombe, in a village called Karalike, of a trailer which was carrying fish. I don't know from where. I think it could be from either Congo or around Lake Albert. And they knocked head on a taxi which was having 18 occupants who had come from burial of one of their friends, and they crushed the entire taxi and all the people who were in it. Right Honorable Speaker, we had, other than the loss of our people, we had difficulties, particularly with the police trying to retrieve the bodies of the people who were in the wreckage. They did not have means to pull off the trailer such that they could see who was remaining behind. It attracted very many people trying to remove it manually, and the police, I think, sensing chaos because people started rioting. Those who watched news, people blocked the road because they were dissatisfied that they can have such a nasty accident and government is not running to their rescue. Right Honorable Speaker, it took an entire day. The accident happened at 8 p.m. on Sunday. The whole of yesterday, this truck was still lying on some bodies. Government had not mobilized any means from Fort Portal, from Hoima, to come and remove the wreckage. From dead bodies. We are asking government that in such circumstances, they should be able to respond quickly. 2, this area where the accident happened used to have 2 roads when it was a Maram road. That's where for us, that's where we have Kubiri. We used to call it Kubiri, the place that has two roads. Two roads. But when they were tarmacking, they removed and created one road. But it remained with a very, very sharp corner to a level that somebody coming from up will never see who is coming from down. And Right Honorable Speaker, it is in a forest. I did not see any sense why they remained with that corner, because this is a government land. If they were fearing compensation, they would sort out themselves. They would cut off that corner, unless they have engineering reasons. Engineering reasons, we pray that that corner, Right Honorable Speaker.
Honorable Member, we've got the information. The corner is going to be removed.
If it was the Honorable Achara, I would take the information.
Now,
because in my constituency, today, they are barring 4 people. In his constituency, they are barring more people.
Eric?
Thank you so much, Madam Speaker and the Honorable colleague, for giving way. Madam Speaker, it is so devastating in my constituency, Buyaga East. My prayer, without going into details, Madam Speaker, if government can have a better rapid emergency response system, if it can be in place, we would save lives. Madam Speaker, today I have again lost another voter who was supposed to have probably survived. But because there was a lot of laxity on the side of government, we lost this life. Madam Speaker, if we can also, if government can, because this is a disaster, if government can come in and help us to send off really in a more dignifying manner. Sometimes they give some better condolences to these people. It would be much more easier, Madam Speaker.
Okay, thank you. Honorable members, I think we have got the message.
Much obliged. The Right Honorable Speaker, we have seen in the past similar accidents as my friend is raising, particularly on buses that cross from Rwanda. Even where fewer people have died, the president runs it with a handshake to condone with the families. We would want to see the same hand extended to the 18 families that have lost their dear ones. Right Honorable Speaker.
Thank you, government. First of all, our condolences to the families that lost. And while you are away, we even observe the moment of silence for those families. And the issue still goes back to the road designs. The issue of the corner. Prime Minister, you need to communicate to UNRWA. You also need to the funding for burial expenses.
Right Honorable Speaker, it is really on a sad note that our relatives lost their beloved ones in such a nasty accident, and you were informed that this was because of overspeeding, whereby I call upon all the leaders to sensitize our people, all those who are road users, to control the speed or to behave when they're on the road, because that car came, and because of that corner, it failed and it rammed into the other vehicle, whereby
let's not zero it down to overspeeding. An
There
accident
are many-
happened.
Yes.
There are many reasons.
There are many
why.
reasons, but it's one of them. So I'm calling upon the leaders to sensitize whoever is using the road. Right Honorable Speaker, the President is concerned about every life.
Let's first hear and hear the issue of money.
He's
That's what-
concerned about every life, and he has done it willingly without us calling him to do that. Right now, he's aware of what is happening, and I cannot say that the President has to be called by Parliament because he has done it before. So, Right Honorable Speaker, I'm going to inform UNRA.
By the way, Parliament is not calling the President to do that. It is a request from the members of Parliament of that area. It is not Parliament. Keep us off this. It is Parliament. It is the President that gives her notes.
Thank you. Thank you, Right Honorable Speaker, for that clarification. Right Honorable Speaker, as the request has been made by the area member of Parliament, we are going to pass on that request to His Excellency the President.
There's an order from your
And I
fellow
also
Hajat.
inform
Thank you so much.
UNRA
Thank you so
to
much.
take care of that
Order.
corner. I thank you.
Right Honorable Speaker.
Hajat.
She was on
Hajat
the
has
floor and
finished.
she,
Order on your.
but you gave me the right to speak, Right Honorable Speaker.
No, she finished too fast.
But she lied to the country that the President is
Honorable members, this is a serious matter. These are our colleagues, where we also can support, police support, but also out there to the public, we must have road discipline. Road discipline in terms of speed, in terms of ensuring that you respect other road users. Because you're using a truck and the other one is using a small vehicle. So for you, don't mind whatever happens. And then the issue of the road designs. And we've said we must have inspection of these vehicles. This vehicle lost control. It could have been a DMC. So we need to ensure that is put in place. Yes, Kisa, Patrick.
Thank you so much, Right Honourable Speaker. Right Honourable Speaker, I want to thank you so much for your communication on sports. Right Honourable Speaker, I happen to have attended the National Ball Games in Kabale. And I want to take this opportunity to congratulate Bukedeya Comprehensive for having participated and coming up as a very
You
strong
people, you
winners.
can't clap for my school.
Right Honourable Speaker, while in Kabale, there are so many things I observed. Most of the schools that participated, like Bukedeya, like Lugazi Homeland College, were mainly private schools.
The owner of Homeland College is Honorable Kisa.
Were mainly private schools, Right Honourable Speaker. And you can hardly find a government school participating in these national game balls. The reason they gave, Right Honourable Speaker, is that the government, through the Ministry of Education and Sports, do not facilitate sports and games in these schools. And even the budget, through the capitation grant, has very little money for the government schools to have the children in these schools participate in the national games. Right Honourable Speaker, the Minister of Education is here. My brother, Director, Honourable Muyingo.
Your father.
My father, my mentor. I wanted to know how much money does the government, through the Ministry of Education, provide for sports enhancement in these government schools in Uganda? And Right Honourable Speaker, most of these head teachers in government schools, because I'm a teacher, I'm very concerned. The government can provide less than 2 million shillings to run sports in the entire year. How much do you provide, Honourable Minister, to enhance the sports sector in all the government schools, including city schools that we are putting up. Thank you so much, Right Honourable Speaker.
Honour Government.
Thank you very much, Right Honourable Speaker. Right Honourable Speaker, first of all, it's not true that government schools do not participate in these games. Evidence, perhaps that. There is evidence that this year's volleyball, basketball tournament, national, were taken by government, were won, or it was the public schools that led.
Where?
It's true,
Where?
Right Honourable Speaker.
I am just asking where. Is Standard High a government school?
You're Right Honourable Speaker.
No, you're talking to the person who has interest in this.
Standard High School, I know, is a private school, owned by my brother.
Is Amos College a government school?
And the Right Honourable, in netball, we have St. Mary's Chitende. Is it
a government school?
Right.
Honourable Minister, just come with a document, with a statement. If you want us to help you on improving sports in secondary schools, then let it be.
Most obliged, Right Honourable Speaker. I'll come with a statement.
Thank you. Thank you. Yes, Patrick.
Thank you very much, Right Honourable Speaker. Right Honourable Speaker, in 2019, this Parliament passed money to buy road units to new districts. And the Minister of Finance refused to release the money. Madam Speaker, last financial year...
Minister of Finance did not release the money. The word refused is not parliamentary for now.
Most obliged, Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, last financial year, this same Parliament passed money, and the Minister of Finance never released the money for the new districts. Right Honourable Speaker, this financial year, again we pleaded with Parliament to provide money to the new districts. Right, honourable members, other districts have road units, but there are some 16 districts that without road units. The little money we get, we hire. Madam Speaker, we hire on that money so that we can do the route. So we end up doing very fewer kilometers. Right Honourable Speaker. Okay.
Now, you're giving somebody who has road units. Okay, let's have the next person.
Right Honourable Speaker, just one minute.
Yes, can you conclude?
Let me conclude, Madam Speaker. The Minister of Finance...
has road units.
The Minister of Finance is here. Right Honourable Speaker, everyone is celebrating about the 1 billion, and I want to thank this Parliament because it is a good way. But for us who have no road unit, still when we are planning for the 1 billion, we are also planning to hire for the road units, which is very, very unfair. Can we get confirmation that this financial year, this first quarter, the new districts are given also the road units, Right Honourable Speaker? Thank you.
Information.
Right Honourable Speaker, I want to thank you and Patrick for allowing information. It is on the Hansard and very clear that last year the Minister for Works and Transport came and committed here before us that 29 billion was given to them. And they were waiting for the balance.
And they were having a procurement process.
Yes.
It was in procurement.
So I would want to clarify that that information was given. So the minister should guide us. Has the balance been given? How far the procurement process has gone for us to get to know when it will be concluded?
No, the person to give the balance is right here. Have you given the balance for the road units?
Thank you, Right Honourable Speaker. Right Honorable Speaker, I want to know whether the issue is giving the balance or whether it is availing the road units. Madam Speaker, in our opinion, the issue is ensuring that all districts in the country and municipalities have functioning road units. And Madam Speaker, this is the matter we are working on. The President is involved, and we shall ensure that all districts in Uganda get road units.
Honorable Finance, what we need to find out is, on top of the 29 billion, when are you releasing the balance for us to have equipment in those districts? That's number one. Number two, would the districts also that have equipment have unfunctioning equipment because there is no money for repairs and maintenance?
That's why, Madam Speaker, I'm saying that releasing the balance is no longer an issue. The issue is ensuring that all districts in Uganda are supported with functioning road units.
You're not answering us.
And we have put this matter before the President, and the President is making all the efforts to work with the government of Japan
Now,
to ensure that we are supplied with road units.
Honorable Henry, the answer is very simple. Henry, the answer is very simple. It's either that you appropriated, you have money for the road units or not. It's not whether it is simple or hard. We don't mind whether it is hard because you must do it anyway as government. The issue is, is there money for the road units or not? If it is not there, then let's look at plan B.
Madam Speaker.
No. He has an answer. I know, Henry.
Madam Speaker, I am constrained to give you a straightforward answer.
Honorable members, Prime Minister, the districts without units,
Right Honorable Speaker, like the Honorable member who raised the issue said, some of the money was released, so these road units are being procured in phases. That is the program that we are moving with.
Honorable members, can we have a status? Can we have a status from Works and Finance on how many road units are being procured? What is the balance for which districts? Honorable members, in the public gallery this afternoon, we have students and teachers from Berkeley High School, that is Iganga District. They are represented by Honorable Mugema Peter Panado. Who is Panado? Panado is, you have one of the best MPs. And then Honorable Sauda Kauma. They are represented. Join me in welcoming them. Then you have a delegation of constituents from Ngora District represented by Honorable Isodo Stella. You're welcome. Honorable Achayo Lodo and Honorable Isamat Abraham. Thank you. Abraham is there. You have very good members of parliament, constituents. So take care of your MPs. Next item.
Item 3.
On the same. So, honorable members, are we going now to discuss on the communication? Kindly bear with me. Bear with me. Bear with me. Let's first move, and then I'll give you time. In between there.
Item 3.
Yes, I'll give you. Yes, procedure from.
Thank you, Right Honorable Speaker. Right Honorable Speaker, my procedural matter concerns the Sheik Rains that won. Right Honorable Speaker, they played both games away, home and away from the same stadium. Right Honorable Speaker, the other time we observed when the Uganda Cranes also played from home and away. On several occasions, Right Honorable Speaker, the head of state has been here and bailed out to some people. You hear Abubakar, you hear those ones. Right Honorable Speaker, to develop talents in this country, and this country to be proud of the teams that we have, including the Sheik Rains, they must be in position to watch these games from Uganda. Right Honorable Speaker, if the question of Sheik Rains not having a stadium is lack of money, during the supplementary allocation when we are looking at bidding and giving people money, can we really provide money? Wouldn't it be procedural right? The procedural matter, Right Honorable Speaker, is, wouldn't it be procedurally right, Right Honorable Speaker, as the Minister of Finance prepares the supplementary, to put a portion of money to provide for a stadium for the Sheik Rains so that we stop playing home and away from
Honorable
outside
members,
Uganda?
we gave money to Nachivuvo, to Nambole. And because of the pace that they were moving on, I delegated you, your good self, with the leader of opposition, to go and see what was being done. To date, we've not got a report. So how do you expect us to continue giving money when we don't know the progress? So we will not give them money until we have a progress report. Next item.
Item 3.
Yes.
Laying of papers.
Chair, Right Honorable Speaker, you had allowed the procedure. Right Honorable Speaker.
Yes, Sechi.
Yes, Right Honorable Speaker. I rise under Rule 7 regarding the powers of the Speaker. Right Honorable Speaker, a while ago, actually an hour ago, you directed the Attorney General, the Honorable Attorney General, to be in this House to brief the House about a very critical matter of the LC status. Right Honorable Speaker, we are all here, most of us, as a result of an electoral process, and we hold and we enjoy the legitimacy because of that. And Right Honorable Speaker, the LCs are a big component in the democratization of this country. But when government chooses to gloss over this very critical matter, Right Honorable Speaker, we get concerned. And the Speaker's directives cannot be in vain. Right Honorable Speaker, I find it very strange that members, particularly the lead of government business, the government chief whip, are not putting to bear the Attorney General, even the Minister of Local Government. And how I wish both of them, the Attorney General and the Local Government Minister, could be a product of an election. Then they could understand the rigors that an elected member or elected person goes through.
There's an order here.
Madam Speaker, the Honorable Sechku has been in Parliament. This is his 5th term.
6th.
5th. He has also been here since Parliament started. I mean today. And for every matter that has come here, ministers from Prime Minister are saying the President. Is he in order to demand that ministers who have no answers come here when he knows that every matter must be answered by the President? Is he in order?
Honorable Semujo, I think if there is anybody who loves President Museveni in Uganda, it is Semujo. And it is good to be loved, because you cannot finish a day without mentioning the legal advice of this country is the Attorney General, and that's why we are referring to the Attorney General. So, Sechi is in order.
Thank you very much, Right Honourable Speaker, for your ruling. Is it in order, therefore, Right Honourable Speaker, for government to keep quiet and to allow business to proceed as if it is normal, yet there is a standing directive from the Right Honourable Speaker of this Honourable House that has not been answered, and I'm seeing them ready to proceed to other business without due consideration of your powers in this Honourable House. Is the government in order, therefore, Right Honourable Speaker?
Government.
Right Honourable Speaker, I want to thank Honourable Sechikubo for raising such an important matter, whereby other people might think that we don't want to answer or we have no answers, yet we have them. Right Honourable Speaker, I raised the Attorney General.
It's not other people, the Ugandans. We are talking to Ugandans.
Yes, the Ugandans.
It's the Ugandans who want the LOC ones.
Yes, the Ugandans. I raised the Attorney General. He was still far, but he's coming. Except that when he replied that he's coming, it was on my phone. I can even show you the time when I called him. He's on his way coming to report to the issue concerning the LOCs. Thank you.
Honourable members, let's wait. Time will also come. Time will come. Lob had something?
Much obliged, Right Honourable Speaker. Briefly on two issues. One, the Nambole matter. I'll ask you to reconstitute that committee humbly, because at all times would not get quorum. So probably I'll formally return and then we reconstitute for action. Secondly, I had decided that I would raise this matter in a statement, but seeing the Minister of Defense in plenary, which is rare, I thought I should bring it to the attention of the House.
Honourable Lob, my Minister of Defense is always in the House. If he's not physically here, he's on Zoom.
Yes, Right Honourable Speaker, true. I have seen him several in the committees answering to his question, to questions of his entity. A rare human in the plenary, but I'm glad he's here. And he raises my curiosity for his physical presence. Namely, on the fact that he has informed the country that part of the UPDF is going to be hireable. That the UPDF is going to be constituted into private guards, just like Wagner in Russia. If you have money, you can hire and take on your farm. They can guard your poultry, your cattle for hire. The UPDF, Right Honourable Speaker. So now that the Minister of Defense is here, will you want to explain to the House under what law is it denigrating the sanctity and dignity of the National Army into a force hireable?
Honourable, order in space here.
Right Honourable Speaker, together with his deputy, hobbling in. We are aware that the UPDF is a reputable force, and there have been concerns about its deployment severally in Central Africa, in Guinea-Bissau, and other places undeclared, Honourable Speaker. Equatorial Guinea. Honourable Speaker, with the Minister of Defence come clean on a matter that really sounded very ugly, coming at the backdrop of constituting the UPDF into a fishing brigade, because they have now a fishing brigade.
The biggest, the baddest East African Christian Marathon is here. Come participate at the East African Christian Marathon for a prayer run on the 13th of August 2023 at the Lugogo Hockey Grounds. Come represent your family at the prayer run and run for a good cause to build the first call center, which will be East Africa's virtual listener. Come for the prayer run alongside your pastors, leaders, representatives from Kenya, Tanzania, Rwanda, Burundi, Congo, South Sudan, and of course Uganda. Participate with Honorable Captain Mike Mukula, who is the chief runner and patron. Do not miss out on this opportunity. Make your donation for your kid now from 20,000, 30,000 and 100,000 Uganda shillings, because runs change the world. For more details, call 0781 885 055 or visit our website at www.eastafricachristianmarathon.org. Proudly sponsored by PKF, UBC, Venro Health, Aquafina, and Moving Preacher.
Madam Speaker, you have made a ruling that the minister comes with a statement tomorrow on this serious matter. Is it procedural right for the minister to continue giving this wrong information instead of waiting and adhering to the rule that tomorrow, such that it comes when it's organized, to present on this matter, which is very serious? So is he proceeding right by continuing when you have made a ruling that he comes tomorrow with a statement after General has briefed him with information?
Honorable members, next item.
Item 3, laying of papers.
Honorable members, this is pursuant to Rule 33 of the Rules of Procedure, where we will require just the key points and the recommendations to be presented, and should be as brief as possible by the persons who are presenting.
Thank you very much.
Laying of papers, reports of the Committee on Foreign Affairs on A, an oversight visit to the Embassy of Uganda in Riyadh, Saudi Arabia. B, the oversight visit to the Ugandan mission in Abu Dhabi and the consulate in Dubai, United Arab Emirates. C, oversight visits to the embassies of the Republic of Uganda in Algiers, Algeria, Cairo, Egypt, and Addis Ababa, Ethiopia.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker and colleagues, members of Parliament. I am here to present a report on the Committee on Foreign Affairs on the oversight visit to the Embassy of Uganda in Riyadh, Saudi Arabia. And in accordance with Rule 33, Sub-Rule 1 of the Rules of Procedure, I beg to lay a report on the Committee of Foreign Affairs on oversight visit to the Embassy of Uganda in Riyadh, Saudi Arabia. Mr. Speaker, I beg to play.
Thank you. Please lay.
Honorable Speaker, in accordance to Rule 33, Sub-Rule 2 of our Rules of Procedure, I beg to present a brief summary of the recommendation contained in the report on the oversight visit to the Uganda Commission in Riyadh, Saudi Arabia. Honorable Speaker and members, the government of Uganda should ensure that products leaving Uganda and destined for Saudi Arabia and any other export destination should meet internationally recognized standards. The Ministry of Foreign Affairs and concerned missions should consider budgeting for external labor recruitment challenges. Honorable Speaker and members, among the recommendations, the committee did recommend the government of Uganda should regulate the activities of organizations that organize the travel of Ugandan Muslim pilgrims who perform Hajj, Umrah. The government of Uganda should appoint members on the Joint Technical Committee for bilateral cooperation with immediate effect. Another recommendation that all outstanding memorandum between Uganda and Saudi Arabia must be concluded. Efforts should be made to establish consulates in the countries that are accredited to this mission in order to enhance accessibility to consular services. The Ministry of Finance should leverage the budget ceilings upwards or leave the budget open to enable MDAs to responsibly make adequate budget provisions for the planned activities. And lastly, one of the recommendations, Right Honourable Speaker, the government of Uganda should, with immediate effect, raise the allowances for foreign service officers to make them commensurate with the cost of living index in the countries where they are posted. This is on Riyadh as a mission.
Thank you. All this will be deposited to the library for you to get time and peruse through them.
Honorable Speaker, with your permission, I beg to lay committee report on the oversight visit, the Uganda mission in Abu Dhabi, and the consulate in Dubai, the United Arab Emirates. Honorable Speaker, I beg to lay.
Please lay.
Furthermore, Honorable Speaker, in accordance with Rule 33 Sub-Rule 2 of our Rules of Procedure, I beg to present a summary on recommendations by the committee on the report of the oversight visit of Abu Dhabi and the consulate in Dubai. Honorable Speaker, among the recommendations of the committee, we did recommend that increased facilitation to the Uganda mission in UAE to cover the wage and non-wage deficit. Secondly, funding for travel abroad for missions abroad must be reinstated to enable them pursue the promotion of economic and commercial diplomacy. Another recommendation, Madam Speaker, increase the capital development budget, and this relates to the need of our own properties at every mission of Uganda abroad. Another recommendation, Madam Speaker, to provide a transition budget to facilitate and cover for urgent mission financial needs between the end of the financial year and the beginning of one. Madam Speaker, we recommend the mission should be accorded immediate authorization to issue emergency travel certificates to enable the emergency repatriation of Ugandans who are in distress. We recommend that we give special consideration to the Uganda mission in UAE for purposes of promotion of economic and cultural diplomacy. The committee also recommends purchase of a decent representation vehicle for the head of mission. And finally, we recommend that the committee decides to give a special attention to the issue of labor externalization of Uganda workers in UAE, and the standalone report will be presented in due course. Honorable Speaker, I beg to report.
Thank you so much, Chair. Thank you. This is not for debate. Yes. We are depositing this to the library, and all of you will have access to it.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, just connected to this, it's good our committee went to the UAE. Madam Speaker, last financial year, we did pass money for the purchase of the vehicle for our ambassador in Washington. But Madam Speaker, to date, first of all, finance did not release the money. The ambassador has no vehicle. Even the one which was there has broken down. This is our main, one of the main missions. So, Madam Speaker, it's not only the UAE where the ambassador or the head of the mission does not have transport. Can we hear from finance why they did not release the money? And a little of government business here, because this is embarrassing to us. The ambassador cannot keep hiring, going on Uber, on Bolt, to the embarrassment of our country. So please, we did our part. We passed the money for Washington. Finance has not sent the money.
We will need to get a report for all the embassies, not specifically Washington, because all the other embassies are as important as that. So committee will give us information to that effect, and then we make a follow-up with the finance.
Most obliged, Madam Speaker.
Thank you.
Honorable Speaker and members, I beg to lay a report to the Committee of Foreign Affairs on the oversight visit to the embassies of Uganda to Algiers, Algeria, Cairo, Egypt, and Addis Ababa in Ethiopia. Honorable Speaker, I beg to lay.
Please lay. Thank you.
And allow me proceed on the recommendations for these very important missions, and I'll start with our mission in Algiers. The committee recommends the procurement of appropriate chancery premises in an affluent location. Secondly, capture development budget to enable the embassy capture both the presentation vehicle and utility van, which is lacking in most of our missions. Thirdly, we recommend the recruitment of an education attaché to this mission, as many of our students, actually many of our scholarships come from that mission. The Ministry of Education and Sports should explain why only 40 out of the 120 scholarships offered have been utilized. Annually, we receive 120 scholarships, but surprisingly, only 40 are utilized. The government should, with immediate effect, second or nominate a person of high caliber with the requisite qualification to deputize Algeria as the AFRIPOL. Madam Speaker, this position has been falling vacant since 2020, when one of the officers that was in that position actually retired. So the post is being held in absentia, and we recommend that action be taken immediately. The Minister of Finance and the Minister of Foreign Affairs should submit a request to Parliament to facilitate the change of the erroneously placed 2 billion Uganda shillings that was meant for economic and commercial diplomacy, and this was taken for development budget. Madam Speaker, as you're aware, that our foreign missions, one of the key things that are engaged in is the issue of economic and commercial diplomacy. But when we don't fund them, we really curtail their work. Our recommendation is also to reinstate facilitation for the travel abroad. These are foreign missions, and most of them have got very many kinds of accreditation. Therefore, they cannot be able to traverse between different countries if they do not have travel abroad budget. So that's one of our requests, Madam Speaker. Need to update and renew the outdated MOUs, sign the pending ones, and ratify the signed treaties and protocols. Madam Speaker, our missions operate through MOUs, and we would not be able to sign them and really update them. Then it curtails the operations of our mission. So this is one of our recommendations, Madam Speaker. Given plans by government of Algiers to import powdered milk from Uganda, the government of Uganda should explore possibilities of signing bilateral air service agreements with a view of enabling both countries to operate cargo flights to and from Entebbe and Algiers. That is what we recommend as a committee. To our mission in Cairo, Madam Speaker, these are some of the recommendations that a committee came up with. The government should urgently locate funds for Uganda's mission in Addis Ababa to facilitate relocation to a more secure place. Madam Speaker, we were guided by the host government that our mission was very secure, and therefore we pray that the ministry takes really very fast action to make sure that our mission is relocated. Government of Uganda should allocate sufficient funds to enable construction of a new single complex that would accommodate both the chancery and the official residence. We also recommend
Procedural.
Thank you, Right Honourable Speaker. Right Honourable Speaker, I want to thank the Chair for the remarks that she's giving, and very timely and a very good information to this House, Right Honourable Speaker. However, Right Honourable Speaker, the Minister for Foreign Affairs is not in the House. We are noting very key issues, Right Honourable Speaker, about our embassies.
What about?
Right Honourable Speaker, I'm talking about the Minister for Foreign Affairs, Right Honourable Speaker. Wouldn't it be procedurally right?
Is a what? What is it?
Right Honourable Speaker, I don't know all the ministers, Right Honourable Speaker. So let me raise my matter, Right Honourable Speaker. Wouldn't it be procedurally right, Honourable Speaker, that the Minister of Foreign Affairs is here personally and himself to listen to this, so that we take care of the issue of our embassies, Right Honourable Speaker?
Honourable members, the papers that are being laid are laid under Rule 33, and we are going to deposit them in the library. The minister can have access to the information that is being provided by the committee. And that's why it is not even subject to debate. Yes, but we have the minister in the House. Honorable Minister of Foreign Affairs. Honorable Minister of Foreign Affairs. Just assure him that you're a Minister of Foreign Affairs.
Madam Speaker, thank you so much. The Honorable Surwanyi may not just know the nomenclature of the various ministries we have, but I think let me take the opportunity to remind him that in the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, we have Minister in charge of International Cooperation, State, but also we have Minister of Foreign Affairs in charge of Regional Affairs, and I am here present. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Yes, Chair, can you finish?
Thank you very much, Right Honourable Speaker.
Thank you, Madam Speaker.
Honourable members, okay.
Yeah, Madam Speaker, Rule 33 and 34 talk about laying of reports of parliamentary delegation abroad and committee field reports. But at the same time, they say the Speaker shall appoint time not exceeding 45 minutes for debate. I don't know whether it will be in future or today, Madam Speaker.
Can we first have the papers laid?
Thank you, Right Honourable Speaker, for that guidance. One of the recommendations by the committee was that we review and categorize all missions, taking into consideration the prevailing circumstances and locations of particular missions, among other factors. And the last recommendation on this mission was that to motivate the head of mission and mission staff through enhanced remuneration packages, taking into account the volumes of work at the mission. And last, Right Honourable Speaker, the recommendations for our mission in Cairo are as follows. The government should urgently allocate funds for Uganda's mission in Addis Ababa. The government of Uganda should urgently take a decision on whether to buy or rent premises in the new capital city of Egypt. Secondly, the government should board the premises of the Chancery and use the proceeds from the sale of want to acquire new premises in the new administrative district to act as the ambassador's official residence. Other recommendation is, Madam Speaker, the committee that the mission should recruit an education attaché to manage affairs of the student community in Egypt and countries of accreditation. The mission, in collaboration with the National Identification and Registration Authority, that is NIRA, should take deliberate steps to conduct registration and issuance of national identity cards to Ugandan citizens living and working in Cairo. Honorable Speaker and members, the committee recommends that the government of Uganda should engage and lobby the Egyptian government to sign a memorandum of understanding to regularize and grant legal status to Ugandan citizens living in Egypt. And lastly, Madam Speaker, this committee recommends that the government of Uganda should negotiate a labor agreement between Uganda and Egypt. In summary, Madam Speaker, this is what we'll be able to present. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. As we have already said, much as Rule 33 requires that we debate, we give some 45 minutes, but we want a comprehensive report for all the embassies, not only the 3 that you're presenting. So give us a whole report and we discuss and see how to handle early enough before we go into the budgeting process, because most of these issues have financial implications. Next.
Item 4.
Yes, procedure matter.
Thank you, Right Honorable Speaker. 2 procedural issues. Number 1, as she was presenting, she said Cairo, they were informed that Cairo is in a very secure place. But when to say Cairo should be, I think she meant to say insecure, but said secure. It may please you that she corrects that record because she said it's in a very secure place.
It's insecure.
That's what she meant to say, but said a different thing.
Thank you, colleague, for that information. Madam Speaker and colleagues, I meant our mission is in insecure location.
Insecure place, yes.
Thank you, Right Honorable Speaker. That's corrected. The other procedural issue that I've been battling to bring to your attention since the House started. Like you rightly said, we many times, often than not actually, meet on Zoom. Some of us meet on Zoom for some reasons. But reading through our rules of procedure, they don't provide very well how a member on Zoom would be able to participate. It even becomes extremely very difficult if the matter involves taking decision. When a question is put forward for people to pronounce themselves as in aye or nay. Sometimes, even on ascertaining quorum, the speakers say there's quorum, members are here and others are on Zoom. And there's no way we ascertain the number of people on Zoom to actually be sure that we have quorum. Right Honorable Speaker, would it please your Right Honorable Speaker, I saw you were being engaged. Would it be please your chair that you defer this matter to the Rules Committee to define to us exactly how members on Zoom could participate? I was on Zoom last week. Of course, the procedure of Zoom is that you can even put up a hand. I put up a hand throughout from the beginning to the end. I knew, of course, I wouldn't be noticed, but I was trying to check the system. I even tried to say statement, I'm not going to say here, to check whether we are being followed, and I noticed that we are not being followed.
But you can say, no problem. Anyway, Hajat, it's not guesswork that we do on ascertaining quorum. It is on record. We can print for you whenever you want it. Our IT people ascertain for us what is on quorum. If you want to debate on Zoom, a person who can tell you that he debates on Zoom is just behind you. Patrick, don't you? Patrick, have a mic.
Madam Speaker, whenever I'm out of the country, I've been given chance to debate here.
Thank you so much. Next item.
Item 4.
Madam Speaker, I would love to inform you and the House that these reports, the summaries I've just read, actually were deposited with the clerk. The reports are there. And also, secondly, that we have other reports that are ready for oversight missions, we'll just request you to give us space on the other paper. Thank you very much.
Thank you, thank you. Another procedure. Hajat.
Thank you, Right Honourable Speaker.
Stop harassing Patrick.
Thank you, Right Honourable Speaker. Madam Speaker, you have asked the chairperson of the committee to bring a comprehensive report when all this are done. All of this are done. I think it would be procedural right for us to give the committee. It would be procedural right to give a committee the time within which they bring the comprehensive statement. Why am I saying this? Why am I hinging this issue on time? The issue which the chairperson, Honorable Nora, has raised, the issue of the ban on or the freeze on travel abroad. Madam Speaker, I think the Minister of Finance did a blanket ban. When in Mozambique with the Deputy Speaker, our High Commissioner.
Sénégal.
Excellence, Monsieur le Président Macky Sall, le Président de la République du Sénégal.
And your distinguished delegation.
Et votre délégation distinguée.
I thank you so much for visiting us.
Je vous remercie infiniment pour nous rendre visite.
Responding to my invitation.
Après avoir bien répondu à mon invitation.
I have been to Senegal a number of times.
J'ai été au Sénégal plusieurs fois.
I visited Senegal when His Excellency Abdou Diouf was president.
J'ai rendu visite au Sénégal lors de la présidence du président de l'ancien Abdou Diouf.
Then I visited when His Excellency President Wade was president.
J'ai aussi rendu visite quand le président Wade était.
And in your time, I came there also.
Et pendant votre temps aussi, j'étais là.
So I'm glad that the Senegalese presidents have also come.
Je suis très heureux que le président du Sénégal est aussi venu chez nous.
President Abdou Diouf came.
Le président Abdou Diouf s'est rendu en Ouganda.
His Excellency Wade came.
Son Excellence président Wade est venu en Ouganda.
Now you have come.
Maintenant, tu es venu, vous êtes venu.
So we are very, very happy.
Nous sommes très heureux.
Ugandans know Senegalese.
Des Ougandais connaissent des Sénégalais.
I think they call all West Africans Senegalese.
Et vous savez, ils appellent tous les West Africains Sénégalais.
There used to be quite a community here.
Il y avait une grande communauté ici des West Africains.
But we have had very good relations with Senegal.
Mais nous avons eu de très bonnes relations bilatérales avec le Sénégal.
All the time.
Tout le temps. Toujours.
But the bad thing is that we have not done business seriously.
Mais la mauvaise chose, c'est qu'on n'a pas bien fait le commerce sérieusement.
Because that's what should be done now.
Parce que voilà ce que nous devrons faire. Nous devons faire ça maintenant.
Find out what Senegal buys.
Découvrir ce que le Sénégal achète.
From outside.
De l'étranger.
And if Uganda can supply it.
Et pourquoi pas si l'Ouganda peut vous fournir.
And vice versa.
Et ainsi de suite avec le Sénégal.
If there is something Senegal is producing which you can buy.
Si le Sénégal a des productions que nous pouvons acheter.
That's one clear area of potential cooperation.
C'est un des ordres présents d'une coopération bilatérale commerciale.
The other area is technical cooperation.
Alors l'autre, c'est la coopération technique.
In the field of energy.
Dans l'énergie.
Because we all have experiences in petroleum exploration
Parce
and
que
gas,
nous avons l'expérience de l'exploration pétrolière
and also in security and intelligence.
et aussi concernant la sécurité et le renseignement.
And in political affairs.